Hi, this is a local artistry, and this is the day in the life of a fashion blogger. My name is Kendall Sanchez, and I'm from Bakersfield, California, and I am 24 years old. I've been blogging for the past 6 years. I started in 2011 when I was reading Teen Vogue magazine one day. I just found this fashion blogger and I was like, oh my gosh, the internet, like I need to check this out. And so that's how I started my journey of fashion blogging. So my blogging style I would describe as just featuring a lot of my personal style, doing some reviews here and there on clothing. I've gotten into makeup, hair, and technology recently. So as blogging has grown in the world, it's like there's more opportunities to do more than just clothing blogging. You can do technology and travel and all other sorts of things. So the fashion blogging world is very competitive nowadays, especially with Instagram. It's become so easy for people to access this realm and saturate the blogosphere. So nowadays it's very competitive, and a way that I keep up with that is by always doing my research. I study what other people are doing, and first of all, like what I need to do the most is stay unique and true to myself and my personal style, because that's what's going to separate me from the crowd. If I'm just regurgitating looks that other people are wearing, just constantly wearing trendy clothes, what's the new fad, then I feel like I'm not being true to myself. And what's important to my blog is being authentic with my eclectic style and mixing vintage with modern pieces. So fashion blogging has done a lot for my life. It's completely changed it. I mean, it's changed the way that people view me, which can be good and bad. But the benefits that it's done is I've been able to travel, I've been paid to do gigs, so I've been able to go to LA and host events for charities, which is really exciting, and basically open this door that I would have never had possible in Bakersfield. But the internet, it allows you to be able to reach so many more people and to discover you internationally even. So it's wonderful. It's given me confidence, and it's just great. So Bakersfield, it is more conservative, and that is something that we have to be smarter than. So we can use the internet to be able to reach other people that are creative out in LA and integrate ourselves out into the world, because now people from LA, from San Fran, they're going to know about Bakersfield and how talented our people are, because there are so many talented creatives in Bakersfield. I see people opening up vintage stores, doing their own blogs nowadays, and I think it's so cool. So just the more we stay creative, it's the more that we're gonna have potential to grow. So I have changed my hairstyle a lot throughout the years when it comes to the style of it and the color. And in ways it's gotten me opportunities where I got to work with Tony and Guy, and I actually drove down there to Los Angeles, and they did my hair there. They did a whole interview and documentary, and it was super cool. So that was a cool thing to come out of just being so wild and creative with my hair. But other than that, day to day, I just have to keep up with my fashion colors, and it does contribute to my overall style. So actually, I would say I was almost more popular with just my natural dark hair, but the fun colored hair is for me. So it's all about just, doing what you gotta do. It's the internet, you can't take it too seriously. So a lot of my wardrobe, it comes from sponsorships, so it'll be people that email me and contact me. Lately I've been working with brands like American Eagle or NYX Cosmetics for makeup, and there's just a plethora of different brands that contact me from international areas to here locally. And what I pick for myself when I'm buying items though is I hit up the thrift store, because that's what I'm all about. I want to buy something that's unique and vintage, and that's what speaks to me. I don't like to go to the mall too much. I'm more of a vintage thrift girl. So what I do outside of blogging is I work just normal part-time jobs usually. I've had a million of them in retail or restaurants, wherever. I don't say no to any opportunity because I want to get the experience. Even this year I tried bartending, which I was not good at. I discovered that, but at least I know now. But other than that, I just spend a lot of time with my family. I help my mom out a lot, and I go to school. So blogging has definitely hooked me up with some jobs, because it's another thing of how people are so obsessed with Instagram followers now. I can just tell them oh, you want a stylist? Check out my Instagram page. And they'll be like, oh my God, 11K followers, ugh. And it's just this perception that people have, but it will land me jobs with whether it's showing my talent or they just think something higher of me. it does benefit me. I've even gotten a job at Forever 21 on the spot because the girl's cousin had told her about my blog like a few months before. So it does help me get a lot of job opportunities for sure.
So the likes do help.
Yes, the likes and the follows, they all help, yes. So it's important for us to talk about the flaws that we have at fashion bloggers, because a lot of what you see on Instagram, it is edited. These bodies are not real, they are touched up, they are smoothed out, they are slightly skinified or whatever, you know, anything you can imagine. I was even using an app today that like it completely changed my face shape, and I was like, wow, like people can be very deceptive with the internet, but it doesn't really matter if you are deceptive or not, because it's like you're creating a fantasy, and that's what the online world is about. So despite that fantasy though, I want to be real with my followers, since I am talking to young girls that I know that they have these, you know, images that are being put in their face so often, and it's probably like eating away at them. Oh, I don't have perfect skin, because I think that sometimes. I go, wow, that girl has beautiful skin. Why don't I just like appear in the sunlight like that, just gorgeous and flawless? But you know, I just like to be honest with my followers that I do have my own struggles and things that I suffer with. You know, that's how it is. We all have our things that we're self-conscious about. So my number one tip with anyone trying to fashion blog is that you must be authentic. You have to have your personal style. So that is the number one most important thing, is be yourself. Number two, do your research. If you have a question in your head, how is this girl getting paid to do what she does? Go on Google. Google some stuff, read some blog posts, because there are like plenty of fashion bloggers out there that are giving this information out, or that you can simply just find online for yourself. So my plan within the next year of fashion blogging is to stay consistent, because my thing was, when I started, I was so consistent. Every day I would come home from after high school and go take some photos of what outfit I wore. It was very genuine and just me being natural myself. And then it went into a couple years later, and I started taking things way too seriously. Started getting way too competitive, where it was just like really on my mind all the time. Am I comparing enough? Am I good enough? Oh, these people are getting 100,000 likes now, and like we were both getting the same amount of likes like a couple years back. So that can be like kind of painful to your ego sometimes. And so I've had to learn to like control that. And now I feel like I'm finally at the spot where I kind of left that enough that I finally feel my creative juices are back, and I genuinely want to go out and take photos. I don't feel like stressed out and like, oh, is this gonna get enough likes? Is this gonna do well enough? That's not even a stress on my mind anymore. Now I'm just happy to be in front of the camera, be fabulous, and show what creations that I'm proud of. The greatest satisfaction that I receive from blogging is definitely like the fan mail that I get at times, just having people reach out to me and say like, hey, you talking about my acne, like I really related to that. Or even I have so many girls that come from small areas like Bakersfield, or very conservative like us, and they'll say, wow, like you really helped me realize that I can be as crazy and eclectic and colorful and just myself as I want to be, and it doesn't matter what other people think. Also, my favorite thing is getting fan art, because that is just like, I don't ask anyone to do that and they just do it. That makes me so proud. Like, you just stared at my picture for like an hour, 5 hours, I don't know how long, just to make a picture of me, because I influenced you to create something for yourself. So I love that. So what inspires the way that I dress day to day is definitely pop culture, my mom, just my upbringing, because like both my parents are very artistic. My dad, he was always different growing up. So he was like one of the only Mexicans in Oildale when he was growing up. So he had to go through a lot, but he was still himself. He would dress up like Kiss, like he had big black permed hair, skater guy, like totally cool, rode a motorcycle. Then my mom, she was from Seattle. So she was like actually in the 80s, in the goth scene, like around The Cure and like the Smiths and Susie and the Banshees, those type of bands. And like, so that heavily influences me is music, pop culture, all that every day. I love mixing vintage with modern pieces. So I look at icons like Gwen Stefani and such, and like I'll try to replicate, or like I just take ideas from pop culture and put it towards myself, and just however I personally like release it, you know? So I'm actually doing a few collaborations right now. Today, I actually did my Real California Milk campaign. So I came up with a recipe using one of the California milk products. I used cottage cheese with fruit because, I don't know, it might not be popular cottage cheese, but I like it. So I did that. And then I'm doing a campaign with Target for a back to college campaign. And it's using the skincare. And also I have one more. Oh, I'm doing a campaign with Perrier, so it's like the sparkling water, and I'm pretty excited for that.